Since Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, its economy has seemingly defied expectations. Last year, its GDP grew faster than United States and many other Western economies. Unemployment is at a record low level. Supporters of the Kremlin point to these figures as proof that Western sanctions failed and the economy is booming. But based on the knowledge of all previous wars, common sense would tell you that Russia can't be doing great. And you would be right. This isn't real growth, it's a wartime illusion. So let's jump right in and see how economic numbers don't always tell the full story, especially during wartime. GDP measures the total value of goods and services produced. In peacetime, it reflects how productive and innovative an economy is. But in wartime, GDP becomes misleading. If Russia spends $1 billion on tanks, that adds $1 billion to GDP. Now, even if the tanks are destroyed in combat the next day, the destruction isn't deducted. So nothing of lasting value has been created, yet it shows up as growth. This is a key reason Russia's GDP figures look better than they should. According to economists, much of the post-invasion growth is concentrated in the military sector. Defense spending has roughly doubled, from 3.6% of GDP to 7.1%, but that's only part of the picture. Wartime expenses go far beyond weapons and soldiers. Here are some of the hidden costs that inflate GDP without creating real value. Healthcare. Treatment for wounded soldiers counts as healthcare spending. Infrastructure repair. Clearing debris and fixing bombed roads is tallied under public works. Relocation of trade. Switching trade partners from Europe and the US to China and India has required costly infrastructure changes, all of which shows up as GDP growth, but only because the war made it necessary. Similar to GDP, Russia's record low unemployment rate, around 2.5%, seems impressive until you look closer. It's largely a result of labor shortages caused by conscription, war casualties, and emigration. The Russian government has boosted the pay for volunteer soldiers so that they can avoid conscription. The most recent pay increase means Russian volunteer soldiers now earn 5 times the average nominal income in Russia. On top of this, soldiers' families have seen a boost in the compensation received for losing their sons, such that 6% of Russia's budget is estimated as being spent to pay families of the dead and wounded. Rise in government pay has also put pressure on the private sector. To retain employees and keep factories running, employers must offer higher and higher wages. Additionally, while the wages rose by 18%, as per March 2024 numbers, prices rose 10.3% year-over-year, eroding real purchasing power. To contain inflation, the central bank has increased interest rates significantly. The interest rate, which has been at 21% for last 6 months now, makes it nearly impossible for private companies to borrow and invest. Even Russia's state-backed weapons manufacturers are complaining that exports are unprofitable due to high interest rates. Outside the defense sector, businesses are struggling to survive. Corporate bankruptcies surged 20% last year, and the trend is worsening. To keep chosen firms alive, the Kremlin has effectively hijacked the banking sector, forcing banks to lend at below-market rates. But the bill will come due, and these banks may eventually require massive bailouts. At the same time, due to sanctions, Russia has been cut off from foreign investment, advanced technology, and global competition. This isolation is slowly degrading the country's industrial base. Businesses that face no competition don't improve. Productivity stalls. Innovation halts. And when the war ends, as all wars eventually do, the artificial stimulus funded by oil vanish. Defense spending will fall, and with it, the GDP that was propped up by it. Right now, Russia's economy looks deceptively stable. The GDP and employment numbers look impressive. But these are the wrong metrics for understanding the true state of the economy. Resources are being poured into weapons, not schools or infrastructure for the future. Skilled labor is going to defense, not innovation. And the pressure from sanctions is compounding over time. Eventually, the government will face the impossible task of bank bailouts, managing inflation, and reviving private industry, all without the foreign investment and global integration it once relied on. While other nations invest in AI, green energy, and education, Russia is burning its future to fuel today's war machine. When the smoke clears, Russia won't find victory, and there'll be nothing left but ashes. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.